Hi, Prescott Valley. My name is Lori Hunt, and I'm your Vice Mayor. It's such a privilege to be with you today, and boy, do we have a great show for you. Thank you for watching Channel 56, and thank you for being part of Prescott Valley. You're very important to us. So with us today, we have Bill Stiteler, who's a superintendent of Mountain Institute. And I also am so happy to have Fernando Soto, who's a student at Chino Valley High School and also a student at Mountain Institute. Welcome, guys.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to have you. So, Career and Technical Education District, CTED, is what Superintendent Bill is a part of, and it's under the State Department of Education. So I just wanted to bring that out so we can kind of set the stage here. So, Superintendent, what does MICTED provide to the PV community?
Well, we are a public education district just like any other high school. The only thing is we only provide career and technical education. So in our programming, we have 22 programs that we operate, and that is both at what we call our central campus programs and then at our satellite high schools. So that would be any high school in western Yavapai County we also provide programming for.
That's awesome. So I'm going to date myself a little bit because my 40th class reunion was supposed to be last year. We're supposed to have it this year if the world cooperates. But anyway, so Fernando, and when I was in high school, we didn't have programs like this. But you could ask anybody my age, grandparents maybe, that our favorite classes were home ec and shop. And so this kind of reminds me of home ec and shop on steroids, what you're providing. And it's really awesome that you guys have choices. So what's your favorite thing about CTED, Mountain Institute?
They offer a lot of classes up to like automotive, culinary, welding, and then the fire science program that I'm in. And it's very hands-on, and they like to touch with the students and connect with them and see what career paths they really want to look into and try and set them up for that.
Yeah, so correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like it's a good balance to having high school in the afternoon and Mountain Institute in the morning.
Yeah.
You probably go into high school really jazzed because you've just been at Mountain Institute, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Bill, so what does it cost to sign up? What did Fernando have to pay to come to Mountain Institute?
Since we are funded through Department of Education, our students pay nothing. So they will take college classes along with their specialized training. So we pay tuition, textbooks, and any equipment that's needed for them to complete their program. So there is literally no cost to the students.
That's great. And transportation, I'm hearing too?
Transportation from the member school districts like Bradshaw Mountain High School, the districts provide the students with transportation if they're going off-site for programming, and then pick them up either in the morning, afternoon, take them back to their campus as well.
That's great. That's great. So let's talk a little bit about where your funding comes from. You kind of touched on it a little bit, and I know just like the other public K-12 school districts, like for us, Humboldt Unified School District, you're funded by property tax. But I also read that there are grant opportunities and federal funding that you get. Tell me a little bit more.
All right, well, the federal funding is typically for the satellite programs. Typically, they're talking about Perkins grants. We're not eligible for Perkins grants. So we receive all of our funding basically from the 5% tax levy that the voters approved in '08. But then the offset funding is done through the state Department of Education and their general fund. So it's a balance. Districts will balance between the two funding sources, state and local. So we're all state and local funding. We do have occasionally grant opportunities, but those are typically more reserved for traditional high schools.
Great, great. So Fernando, he just said traditional high schools. Tell me the difference between going to Mountain Institute and your traditional high school.
Well, a regular high school class, it's not they don't set the standards as high as, I guess, Mountain Institute. You go into class, they give you everything you do, review the notes, and really make sure that you get everything that you need for the program.
Well, so that's great to hear. We need to use that. So you're telling me that the standards are higher with Mountain Institute, and it sounds like it's more hands-on?
Yeah.
That's great. Congratulations!
Thank you.
You're providing
Thank you.
what our youth need. So what do students earn, and can the students get college credit?
Almost all of our programs have college credit associated with it. So it depends on the program. With 22 programs, it varies. But typically, a student will get anywhere from 4 to, on average, 6 college credit hours per semester while they're in the programming. So in a 2-year program, they're typically going to walk out with anywhere in the neighborhood of 18 to 24 college credit is probably the average we have of, like, pre-engineering. You're going to be pushing close to 30 college credit hours. So it just depends on the program, but they're all structured typically to try to include at least 50% hands-on. So it's more of a deliverable model than for an adult learner.
So that sounds like it's almost to an associate's degree. Close, just short of an associate's degree.
Typically, associate starts at about 60 hours, depending on. We do not provide any of the general ed that would be required, but there again, if they're looking at continuing their education, then they can do that and only have about half the cost associated with obtaining that associate's degree.
That's great. So you're halfway through your first semester of college, it sounds like.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
Making progress, going where I should be.
Yeah. What's mom and dad say?
My mom's all about it. She supports it.
That's great. I bet she's really proud of you. I know I'm proud of you. You're going to be a firefighter someday.
Hopefully.
Awesome. That's great. So where are the classes held, Bill?
Well, we have 4 campuses as far as central campus programming, and then that would be at the CTED facility, Yavapai College, over by the airport. We have the PV campus, which is right here on Glassford. That's where our medical students attend. And then we have the Chino Valley campus, which is for electrical line workers. And then we also have the campus over by the airport for the culinary as well.
That's great. Why is what you do so important?
It provides a traditional student with additional training that they would not get elsewhere, which makes them more competitive in not only local, state, but national job markets. The reality of it is all the data currently shows that a student graduating in a 2-year, 4-year program, they're employable, but there's still a gap between their technical skills and their knowledge base. And the last report I saw is approximately 50% of companies currently hiring are looking for that combination, not one or the other.
So you were shaking your head during that part about being more marketable and competitive. What were you thinking then, Fernando?
Well, like I said, the standards really from like high school and CTED, they really want you to get more of an understanding of like the career you're going to go into and really make sure you're going the right way and have everything.
So when you graduate from high school, you'll have 2 or 3 years of CTED behind you.
2 years.
2 years. So that's almost like 6 years of high school, it sounds like, and you're marketable.
Yeah.
Is that kind of a fair estimate?
Well, it's probably going to take up, typically from a traditional high school, we're taking up what would typically be 3 periods of their high school. So it's a commitment on them because they still have to maintain their graduation standards at their high school. So all of these students are committed to what they're currently doing, and one of the great things about this is that when they get into it, we have students who find out that they thought this is what they wanted, but now they find out it's not. It's still good for them to learn, but it's better to learn now while they're in high school and it costs them nothing than to go off to college, spend 1 to 2 years in college,
Right.
and then find out I need to change a career.
Right.
So the reality of it is, even if they find out they have an interest here, but it's not their true career path, it still provides them a great opportunity to determine that now instead of accruing student debt in a field that may not be ideal for them.
And then trying to start over in their
Yeah.
20s.
Right.
So how many students does Mountain Institute have approximately?
On our central campus programming with our member school districts, we have currently approximately 300 students who are participating in central campus programming. And then with the satellite programming on our satellite district spots, we have about another 1,500. So we're
Wow. Close
servicing,
to 2,000.
Yep, right in
That's
that
great.
neighborhood.
That's great. And how many teachers approximately, would you say, instructors?
Well, it's going to vary by program there again. For example, automotive technology, you're typically going to have 4 to 5 instructors over both years that you're in the program, because each of them have a
Okay.
specialty that they're going to be teaching the students. So it's not one instructor. Each instructor has their specialty and then come into that program to provide that specialized training.
That's awesome. And again, tell me the boundaries of your school district. Is it all Yavapai County or?
It's basically western Yavapai County. We service
Okay.
everything west of the Cottonwood Verde. Mingus kind of cuts the district because of transportation issues.
Okay.
But we go all the way up to Baghdad, out to Ash Fork, Seligman, and we have students who will hop on a bus in Ash Fork to get to a 645.
Wow. That's fabulous. So when is registration open?
Registration typically opens, we start taking applications in November. The actual registration typically happens in the February to March timeframe. Now we'll register students all the way up until classes start, but for us, classes started last week. This is the second week of classes. At this point, we've basically shut registration down because we can't bring a student into the type of classes that we're teaching 2 to 3 weeks down the road. It puts them at a disadvantage. So typically, registration opens really in February, where we can actually register students, and runs typically through May. When they get out of school, we've got probably 90% of our registrations complete.
Wow.
We always have some move in and move out over the summer that we take care
And
of.
so if I register in February, I start in August the next year? Or the
Correct.
same year? Okay. That's great. That's great. So I didn't ask you, you're a senior
Yes, ma'am.
at Chino Valley? Okay, great. What about tours for those of us that might want to learn more?
We can schedule a tour for any organization, individuals. We do it with parents,
Okay,
basically anytime. It's a matter of giving a call to the office, and then we can set up a time for that.
If any of our viewers are interested in touring Mountain Valley, please email me at lhunt@pvaz.net. So many students aren't college bound ready. We just kind of touched on this. So I'm grateful that this opportunity exists so that they're pretty much ready to go to work afterwards. And we all know how many vacancies are open in all the different career paths, all the different businesses here. I know that happens here in PV. How can our community help you, and do you take donations?
We do the traditional school allocation that you can do leading up to each tax year.
Okay.
I think for us, it is a matter of the community understanding the opportunities that are available.
Okay.
Because these students are not only more ready to go into the workforce, but they're also more ready to be competitive in higher education as well.
Okay.
So it's not one or the other. It is a combination of, depending on their career path, it gives them opportunities. For example, a lot of our nursing students are looking at going in to get their RN, LPN, whatever that additional certification for them is, but they can work as a medical assistant or a certified nursing assistant while they're going to those programs at whatever university or advanced career training for RN that they would choose to go into.
So you probably work closely with Yavapai College?
We work very closely with 90% of our programming actually occurs on a Yavapai College campus.
Okay, so Fernando, when you're done with high school, do you need to go on to college before you can join our local fire district, or what's your plans?
I'm gonna have to take my fire science one or my it's like a year 1 fire and a year 2 fire, so I'm gonna have like 2 years of school in a college.
Like at Yavapai?
Yeah.
That's great. That's very cool.
But for Fernando, for example, we have what we call continuation of services. So if they've completed 50% of their program by their senior year, then we'll pay for that second year. So Fernando will be able.
Wow. So you're going to pay for him to go to college too?
Wow. For the year after he graduates, as long as he's completed 50% of his program. So there again.
That's a bonus.
Yep.
Wow, that just gave me goosebumps. That's awesome. That's so awesome. So I know your phone number is 928-771-0791 if there's any questions. What's your website, Bill?
It's micted.net. So it's micted.net.
Great.
And all of our programming, contact information is on that website.
Awesome. Anything else to add?
I mean, I just think it's a great opportunity that is sometimes not well known within the community.
Absolutely. That's why I wanted to have you on the show. That's great. I'm so excited.
You know, with things being a little bit different, we're hoping to open up more like parent nights and information nights so that community members can get involved with what's happening not only in PV but in Yavapai County, and what the opportunities are for their students.
Make sure you send that to me because I'm going to plaster it all over my social media.
Okay.
Because I want more people to know about this. I think it's fabulous.
Right.
Actually, Fernando, you're awesome. Do you have anything else to add?
No, ma'am.
We're so glad you're here.
Thank you.
I can hardly wait to see you as a firefighter someday. Will you keep me posted?
I will.
Okay, great. So, viewers, stand by because we have 2 more students to talk to from Mountain Institute.
So when I graduated from Yavapai College, I got my associates in fire science, and I went into the U.S. Forest Service and became a wildland firefighter for Prescott National Forest.
That really sets up kids in high school right now for a career path. And the career path that I will be teaching would be fire science for the career as being a fireman or a fireman paramedic. It definitely is a good career path that I took when it came to becoming a fireman. We will definitely teach them and explain to them and get hands-on with this truck, with the fire gear that we have. We'll learn all about the fire service and get them ready to pursue the career of being a fireman. Okay, so the program's geared to prepare the student for the fire service career. Is going to be from like Monday through Thursday, and they have an AM class and a PM class. State-of-the-art building, Mountain Institute is we got everything here that we need to educate the students with the fire service career. Average age for the students is going to be anywhere between 16 to 18 years old. And we'll do that on different levels. We'll do it with getting hands-on with the equipment, with the tools that in the fire career that the fireman uses, and also get them geared with the science of fire, right? As a parent, I would definitely be interested for my child to get involved with this program on a couple of reasons. Number one, it definitely teaches them to kind of be on their own, if you will, make decisions, be a good decision maker, and then also, again, teamwork and working side by side with a coworker for a 24-hour shift that would help them open up and gain friends, So they're going to have to really commit to get involved with this program. And again, it's like a Monday through Thursday that they'll either an AM class that they can enroll in or a PM class. Everything is here. It's a phenomenal institute. For sure.
Hi Prescott Valley, we're back with students from Mountain Institute. And I'm really excited to interview today Emma Auten, who's Fire Science, and Caleb Woodruff, who's Auto Technologies. So guys, I'm so excited to have you here. Let's start with Emma.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, what year are you in high school?
I'm a junior at PHS.
Okay. And so you're a junior at Prescott High School.
Yes, sir.
And is this your first year at Mountain Institute?
Yes, ma'am. This is my first year at Mountain Institute.
Okay, and you start in the morning at Mountain Institute and then you go to high school afterwards?
Yes, I go from the Mountain Institute class from 6:45 to 9:15, and then after that I do my third period class all the way to 7th.
Wow, that's great. So what's your favorite thing about Mountain Institute?
My favorite thing is definitely that I get to pursue my career that I've been wanting for a very long time while still chasing my high school education and getting to do all the things that I still would love to do as a teenager while also setting myself up for success, and also Mountain Institute setting me up for success.
That's great. So now, I think I said it, but this is your first year at Mountain Institute?
Yes.
Okay, great. So Caleb, tell me about where you go to high school and why you love Mountain Institute.
I am a junior in Mare High School, and Mountain Institute, I really love the program because it's a free college classes I can take, and it expands my horizons for all the job opportunities I can take, and gives me a chance to, if I don't like, let's say, firefighting, I'm taking that class. If I don't like it, I'm taking automotive, and I can take that way and become a mechanic.
That's great. That's great. So last segment we talked to your colleague Fernando, and he too is in fire science, and he let me know that after you graduate from high school and graduate from Mountain Institute, then you go on to Yavapai College. Is that your plan?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be taking my Fire Science 1 and 2, and then I'll also be going for my paramedic.
That's awesome. And so then you're going to be hireable, you're going to be marketable to any fire district, any fire department around here as a firefighter medic when you're done?
Well, I want to chase my paramedic certification also, so hopefully that'll only be maybe another 1.5 to 2 years, and then I'll be able to get hired on.
That's great. I know most of the fire districts now look for firefighter medics, so you're going to be all lined up and set to go.
Yes, ma'am.
So what does your parents say about this career path of yours and how committed you are?
My parents are very encouraging, very supportive. My dad actually worked at the hospital up here and also was a volunteer firefighter in Williamson Valley, so he loves it. He's very excited for me.
So do you have siblings, younger or older?
No, ma'am. I'm an
Okay.
only child.
Okay. No, but that's great because I was thinking other students are going to look up to you. So I didn't think to ask Fernando this, but when you go back to high school at Prescott at third period, what do your friends think about your career path and what you're doing?
They're very excited for me also. They're super encouraging, and they love that I know already what I want to do and that I'm chasing that, and that I'll be done so early out of high school and be able to get hired on.
I love the way you're saying chasing. That's such an encouraging word.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you. Caleb, so you go to Mayer High School.
Yes.
So what do your other fellow students think when you come back all excited after waking up and having a great morning at Mountain Institute?
I have a lot of my friends ask me what I did that morning because they always find it kind of interesting, because I go to a completely different school a good 60 miles away, learning something that our school has never taught before. So they always ask me how it is, how the building is, and ask what type of stuff is there, and I always tell them we have all these programs, and then a lot of them say, oh, that's cool, I might join that later on when we get open. So I kind of spread the word.
That's awesome.
And they find it awesome that we can do all that stuff for free.
So we told the superintendent that he owes you guys coffee. I think he owes you a little something for that marketing plug you just did.
I actually dislike coffee, but I do love hot cocoa.
There you go. Okay. All right. So what do your parents think, Caleb, of your future?
My parents are very supporting, actually. My dream job is to become an aerospace engineer, but with these other plans I'm doing, like automotive, I really love working on cars, which my dad does too, and he's very supportive about that. And then for firefighting, I've never had a family member in firefighting, but I have police family members and Army family members.
Great.
So all of them are supportive about helping the community and helping everyone else out.
Public service. So you're kind of taking both classes, firefighter and automotive, and so you're going to decide later. That's great.
For automotive, I can use it as a hobby, because working on cars, everyone needs a mechanic or a helper, and I would love to work on my own vehicles. And then firefighting, even if I don't go down that path, I still have the basic knowledge to do volunteering, and I can still be the best I can for volunteering.
That's great. That's a great attitude. So Emma and Caleb, anything else to add?
No, ma'am.
I love that you're recruiters for underclassmen at your high school. That's just great. So I told Fernando I wanted to follow you guys. So I'm going to give you my business card, and I want you guys to keep me posted on what happens. I would love to come to graduation or anything else that you guys participate at Mountain Institute. I am so excited about this program and this opportunity. In my field, we call it a protective factor, that it allows you guys to choose to do something for yourselves, to be proactive, and I'm really proud of you. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Prescott Valley, have a great day.